Hello everyone, welcome to our Spanish lesson for today. Before we get started, you're going to need some equipment to help you with the learning. You're going to need some paper and something to write with. So just pause the video, go and get something to write on and something to write with, and then press play again when you're ready to continue. Today, then, what we're going to be doing is finding out how to describe ourselves and another person using the verb ser, which is the verb to be, and some adjectives. We're also going to be working on agreeing the adjectives with feminine singular nouns. In other words, we're going to be looking at how we have to match the adjectives with those feminine nouns. First adjective we saw was this one. It was redondo, and we saw it in the poem by Gloria Fuertes. And we saw that when we're describing something feminine, redondo has to change to redonda. So, for example, redonda es la luna. Redonda has to be feminine because la luna is feminine, whereas redondo es el sol. Redondo stays masculine there because el sol is also masculine. We saw then that there are two possible forms, redondo and redonda. We use redondo to describe something that's masculine, but we have to change the o to an a and use redonda to describe a noun that is feminine. We also then looked at some other things that were round and worked out by using the dictionary whether we needed redondo, the masculine version, or redonda, the feminine version. And here's the poem that we wrote together with the different forms of the adjectives to suit the different nouns. So we've seen that masculine adjectives often have an o on the end, and the feminine adjectives often have an a on the end. And what we can do is we can take a masculine sentence and we can change everything in that sentence to be feminine. So here's our sentence. Es un chico alto, divertido y simpático. And that means he is a tall, funny, and nice boy. And have you seen as well how the word for boy, chico, comes very early on in the sentence and all of the adjectives come after it? Whereas in English, you have all the adjectives first and then the word boy is at the very end. Now, what we want to do is to take that Spanish sentence and make everything in it feminine so that we can say instead, she is a tall, funny, and nice girl. So to start us off, es is going to be the same because that means either he is or she is. But then what do we need to change un to? That's right, we need to change it to una. What do we need to change chico to? That's right, chico becomes chica. Then our first adjective, when it's describing the boy, it's alto. But what is it when it's describing the girl? That's right, alta. Our second adjective is divertido. How do we change that to describe the girl? That's right, we change the o to an a, so we get divertida. Then, of course, y is going to be the same. But then we've got our last adjective, simpático. And how do we change that to be feminine? That's right, simpática. So our sentence to describe the girl says, es una chica alta, divertida y simpática. Now, it was quite easy for us to do that because all of the masculine words ended in an o. So they were very easy to spot and therefore very easy to change. But not all masculine nouns or adjectives actually end in an o. Let's see if we can spot some patterns here. So in a minute, I'm going to be asking you to pause the video and draw this table on your piece of paper. You're going to have three columns, a masculine column, a feminine column, and a column for things where you're not really sure. And what I would like you to do is to take these 12 adjectives and sort them into the masculine ones, the feminine ones, and the ones you're not sure about, and write them into the right column. So pause the video now, sort out those adjectives, and press play again when you're ready to check the answers. Right then, let's have a look at how these adjectives should be sorted out. So we've got our masculine, feminine, and not sure column. And we can see that in the masculine column, all the adjectives end in o. In the feminine column, they all end in a. But then in our not sure column, we've got all the ones that end in neither o nor a. And so we can't be sure if they are masculine or feminine. Well, actually, we know that the ones ending in o, they're definitely masculine. We know that the ones ending in a, they're definitely feminine. Actually, those ones there can be both masculine and feminine. So, in other words, if they end in N or R or E, then they don't need to change when you're describing something that's feminine. It's only the ones that end in O that need to change to A. The rest pretty much always stay the same. So let's have a look at some more specific adjectives. Here are the 7 that we had a quick look at before. And what I would like you to do is to pause the video, write down the Spanish adjectives, and then see if you can match them up with the English words that are on the right-hand side of the screen here. So pause the video, write down the Spanish adjectives and match them up with the English, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Right then, so let's have a think about what these mean in English. So the first two, alto and bajo, we've got a pair of opposites there. So alto is tall and bajo is short. Then the next one, deportista, is sporty. Divertido is funny. Inteligente is intelligent. Simpático is either kind or nice. It doesn't mean sympathetic, that's something different. And the last one, tímido, means shy. So it's a bit like the English word timid as well. Let's have a practice of those words. Escuchad y repetid. Alto, alto. Bajo, bajo. Deportista, deportista. Divertido, divertido. Inteligente, inteligente. Simpático, simpático. Tímido, tímido. Let's have one more run through. Alto, bajo. Deportista, divertido. Inteligente, simpático, tímido. So we can see that out of our 7 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that end in an O and therefore will change to an A for feminine. But we have 2 that no change is necessary for. So deportista ends in an A for masculine and feminine. And inteligente also will be spelt the same whether it's describing somebody who's masculine or somebody who's feminine. So here's a sentence builder, and that's showing us all of those changes. We're just going to focus for now on saying I am and I am not. So we've got our verbs there on the left-hand side. Soy for I am and no soy for I am not. Then we've got one arrow that leads us to the masculine versions of the adjectives and a second arrow that leads us to the feminine versions of the adjectives. And can you see that alto, bajo, divertido, simpático, and tímido have become alta, baja, divertida, simpática, and tímida when they're feminine? Then inteligente and deportista have remained the same. Let's have a look then and have a practice of some of these short sentences. So here we have a random sentence generator. We've got one column here that has on it soy and no soy. And on here, on the second drum, we have all of our adjectives in both the masculine and the feminine form. And when we spin them, it gives us a sentence. So let's spin and let's see what that sentence says in English. So the first one is soy tímida. What does soy tímida mean? That's right, it means I am shy. Is that masculine or feminine, that sentence? That's right, it's feminine because it says tímida, doesn't it? Let's do another one. No soy simpática. So what does no soy simpática mean? That's right, so I am not kind or I am not nice. And is that one masculine or feminine? That's right, we've got another feminine one because it says simpática with an A on the end. Next one. Oh, that's the same. Let's go for another one. No soy simpático. What is no soy simpático? That's right. I am not kind or nice. Is that a masculine or a feminine sentence? That's right. It's masculine because simpático ends in an O. How about this one? No soy baja. No soy baja. What does that one mean? That's right. I am not short. And is that one masculine or feminine? That's right. It's feminine, isn't it? Because it says baja with an A on the end. And what about this one? Soy alta. Soy alta. What does that one mean? That's right. It means I am tall. And is this one a masculine or a feminine sentence? That's right. This is a feminine one, isn't it? Because it says alta with an A on the end. Oh, and how about this one? Soy alto. What does that one mean? That's right. That one also means I am tall, doesn't it? But is this one masculine or feminine? That's right. This one is masculine because it ends in an O. Soy alto. And how about this one? Soy simpático. What does that one mean? That's right. I am nice or I am kind. And is this one masculine or feminine? Yep, it's a masculine one, isn't it? Because it says simpático. Let's do one more. There we are. No soy divertida. No soy divertida. What does that sentence mean? That's right. It means I am not funny. And is it a masculine or a feminine sentence? That's right. It's a feminine sentence because it says divertida on the end. So now it's going to be over to you to have a practice of deciding whether or not you have to change the spelling of your adjective in your sentence. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and just write down in English these 8 sentences. It might be a good idea to leave a line in between each one so that you have space to write the Spanish underneath. So just pause the video and write these sentences down in English and then press play again when you're ready to continue. Okay, have you written the sentences down? And have you put the little M for masculine and the F for feminine in brackets after each one? Because those are going to be important, aren't they, for the answers? So let's have a look then at the adjectives. So here are the 8 adjectives that you're going to need for your sentence. Then, of course, you're either going to need soy or no soy at the beginning of each one. Then take your adjective, but you also need to decide, don't you, is it going to need its spelling changing when you write it down? In other words, is it a feminine one and does it end in o? So pause the video and see if you can have a go at writing those 8 short sentences using soy or no soy, these adjectives, and the correct spelling changes. So pause the video now and press play when you want to check the answers. Okay, have you had a go of those? Let's have a look at the answers to those sentences. So, number 1, soy vivaz, ends in a Z, will never have a spelling change in singular. Number 2 was soy generosa. So, we knew it needed to be feminine, and generoso ended in an O, so to be feminine, we need to change that to A. Number 3, no soy aventurera. That's another one that needed changing, wasn't it? It had to be feminine, so we had to change O to A. Number 4, no soy nervioso. Well, it was masculine, already ended in an O. We didn't need to do anything. Number 5, soy agradable. If it ends in an E, it's going to be the same in masculine and in feminine. Number 6, no soy considerado. It ends in an O already, that's masculine. Number 7, no soy egoísta. Well, it ends in an A when it's masculine, so we won't ever need to change that if it's going to be feminine. And of course, you know some colours like that as well, like rosa, naranja, violeta are going to be the same form for masculine and feminine as well. And finally, number 8, soy elegante. There's another one that ends in an E, so that's going to be the same for the masculine and for the feminine form as well. If you need to take a little bit more time just to carefully check your answers and really check that spelling of your adjectives very carefully, then you can always pause the video and then press play when you're ready to continue. So, just to sum up then what we've been practicing in today's lesson, we found out that a lot of adjectives end in an o, just like many nouns do. And if we're describing someone or something who is feminine using one of those adjectives, then we're going to need to change that o to an a. However, if our adjectives end in an e or an a or a consonant, that's any letter that's not a vowel, then no change is necessary and we can use the same spelling for masculine and for feminine. More soon. Muy buen trabajo hoy. Fantástico. See you soon.